Hello, boys and girls of Cape Henlopen School District. So we're off for a little while, but the elementary art teachers wanted you to know that we're still thinking about you, and we definitely miss creating with you and being in the classroom and seeing you every day. So what we are going to do for you is provide you with some lessons with art supplies that hopefully you have at home, and if you run into a lesson where you don't have what's needed, just pick a different lesson. The other thing that's really cool is that all the different teachers from Love Creek and Rehoboth Elementary and Shields and Milton and me from HOB are going to be teaching you these different lessons. So you'll get to see the different art teachers and some of the other cool ideas that they might have too. So today I'm going to be giving you a lesson on origami bookmarks. I hope you really enjoy it. And if you are one of my HOB artists doing this along with me, try and maybe keep a little collection of the artwork that you make during this time off. I would love, love, love to see it whenever we finally get back to school. So I hope you enjoy the video and make an origami bookmark that you can use while you are reading over this long time off. I miss you terribly, and hopefully we'll see each other soon. Hello, Cape artists! So today you and I are going to be working together to make some origami bookmarks. So the idea is while we're home on this long time off that we create a bookmark so that when we're reading our books for our teachers that we are able to keep our place and come back to where we left off. So this little origami bookmark is holding my place in Papa, please get the moon for me. All right, so I've also made a little bunny here and a little mouse. So now to start this project, we're going to be needing a piece of regular paper. I took this one off of the printer at my house, a pencil, a glue stick, some scissors, and then some other art supplies, crayons, markers, colored pencils, whatever you have that you can use to add a little bit of color to your piece of art. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to start by taking this bottom corner down here and bringing it all the way to the top, making sure that it lines up here before I fold this flat. Once I have it nice and lined up, I'm going to fold that as flat as I can. I have two tricks for folding it flat. One is I take my fingernail and kind of scrape it along that edge, and my other trick is I'll use my pencil and push it nice and flat, so I'm pushing down almost like I'm ironing with it. All right, once you get that nice and flat, we need to actually remove this big rectangle on the other side. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut straight up this side here. Now this little piece that falls off, it looks like it might be trash or scrap, but we're actually going to use this later, so I'm just going to set mine aside and I'll come back to it. Okay, so once I remove that and I turn my paper this way, I realize I have a triangle. So my next step is I'm going to take one side of my triangle and bring it all the way up to the top. So bringing this guy all the way up to the top. When I do this, I want to make sure that the edges right here all line up together. And once they're lined up, flatten this, scrape it with your fingernail, or use your pencil to flatten it out, whichever technique you like better. And I'm going to repeat the same step on this side. So bringing this guy all the way to the top, lining this up. I want to pay attention a little something extra here. I don't want these two pieces of paper to overlap. Remember that overlap means that one is on top of the other. I do not want them to overlap. I want them to line up right beside each other, not sit on top of each other. So I put that right like that, flatten this, scrape it, or iron it with your pencil. All right, once that is all done, we need to unfold the two folds that we just made. So when we unfold it, we see those creases are still there, and there's actually a rhombus shape right in the center there. So I'm going to take the top of that rhombus, but this is tricky because there's actually two pieces of paper here. Our paper is still folded. So I only want just the top one, not the bottom one. Take this guy, bend him all the way down until he's right at the bottom edge down here, and fold him in. So now he becomes an upside down triangle. Flatten that, scrape it, or use your pencil. Okay, now I'm going to go back to one of these little pieces on the side here, put it back where it was originally, just kind of like close it back up there. But the trickiest step of all is I'm actually going to tuck the top half of this down inside, like this is a pocket or an envelope. So I'm going to take that top, just kind of like curl it under, and push it down until it's nice and flat across the top here. And then push it with your finger, scrape it with your nail, iron it with your pencil. All right, same thing on the other side, all the way up first. Then this top half gets tucked down and under, down. Push it in there with your finger. Line it up across the top here. Mine's a little lumpy, there we go. Okay, and then push it nice and flat. Scrape it with your nail, iron it with your pencil. All right, so as I showed you before, you can actually turn these into pretty much any animal or any shape you want. So I've done a mouse so far, I've done a little bunny, and you saw my monster already in my book. This time, I think I'm gonna make a carrot. So to make a carrot, I'm going to use one of my markers that I had sitting here from earlier, color the whole bottom half of this orange. If I had orange paper, I could have used orange to start with as well. That way I could have skipped the coloring step. But this works just as well too. And I kind of like the different variances of colors that markers give because carrots aren't a solid shade of orange. They have some spots that are darker and some spots that are lighter. Those are called highlights, tints, and shades. So color this in. I'm trying not to be too perfect because I don't want that perfect shade of orange. I just want it, that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to grab a little bit of a darker shade of orange, which actually is red here, and just make some little lines to make it look like the lines in my carrot. Perfect. And for this carrot, I want the little green stem as if it hasn't even been picked out of the farmer's field yet. So I'm going to grab my scrap back. Remember I saved that from earlier. And we're going to use my pencil to draw like a stalk or some leaves. Perfect. Use my green marker or crayon, whatever you had picked out for you to use with your colors. Color that in. And this time I think I'll try and color a little more smooth than before. I'm using the side of my marker since I'm coloring a really big area. I'll use the tip of my marker if I want to draw the line around the edge, but when I use the side, it helps me to color a bigger area more evenly and more quickly. Okay, and I also like to color it before I cut it out, just in case I color out of the lines. And then if I did color out of the lines while I'm cutting, no big deal. I just cut off the scribbles. All right, and I'm just gonna cut this out. And I bet you can guess, I'm gonna be grabbing my glue stick next, or if you have any other kind of glue, or even a piece of tape would work, if you wanna make a carrot with me. I'm gonna grab my little glue stick here, put a little glue along this bottom edge. Perfect. And then tuck this. Oh, did you notice I put the glue on the front of my leaves, not on the back? Because I want it to stick right under here to the carrot. I don't want that green leaf to stick to the back here. I want it to stick to the back of the carrot. Perfect. So now, if I put my little bunny next to my little carrot, you might take a little nibble. You just never know. All right. I hope you had a great time making your origami bookmark with me. And tune back in another time to learn something else.